Ah, okay. Buongiorno. That's what you wanted me to say. How have you been? Good to see you. You know, don't fall over. When anybody, but let me just start out by saying another wonderful day for New York. Another ethnic group participates and shows off the pride that they have and where they come from and where they are. And each one of these groups adds to our culture and our cuisine and our religion and our language. And they build the waves, they build the jobs for the future. And we've got to make sure we keep our borders open and attract people from around the world that want a better life, because we all benefit when they do. Anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to take them.
Mr. Mayor, we wanted to react to the statements that Paldino made seeing that people are being brainwashed into gay marriage and
You know, I've just read about it. It's not what America stands for, and it's not what New York stands for, and I won't dignify it with anything else. Yes, Miss?
Mr. Mayor, do you think this is somebody who is equipped to be governor of the state of New York? Any comments that he's made?
I don't think I want to dignify comments like he's made, and I'll leave it at that. Yes, sir. Do you have a question?
Also, I asked about Paldino. Is he running wild?
You know, there's got to be other things here. I don't want to get involved in this race. Yes, sir.
This is a parade in the Italians take pride in Columbus. Do you think that the Scandinavian...
Do I think what? I can't hear.
Do you think the Scandinavian Americans are getting shortchanged because they've discovered America 500 years?
That is probably true, but I don't think any of these groups that are proud of what their ancestors have done takes away from what other people's ancestors have done. And whether it was one person from one country representing another country, who owned the boat, doesn't matter. We're all here. We're all just glad that people from Europe discovered America, figured out the world was round, and then came here to start this country. Remember, this country was started by people who wanted to be free to practice their own religion, didn't feel they had that opportunity where they came from, and out of that has grown the greatest country in the world.
Is there any update on the incident happening in France?
No, as of the last time I talked to the police commissioner, the ninth person had not turned himself in, but he certainly will. Yes, sir.
Do you think, Mr. Mayor, that after that happened in the Bronx, statements like Mr. Paldino's are dangerous?
You know, we have the right to speak freely, say anything you want. And sometimes the First Amendment permits people to say things that I personally don't agree with and find distasteful or worse. So I'll leave it at that. I think Americans and New Yorkers aren't there. Americans and New Yorkers really understand that if they want their freedoms, they've got to give other people their freedoms. Those freedoms include the right to bear arms. Those freedoms include the right to say what you want to say. Those freedoms include the right to pray where you want to pray. Those freedoms include the right to love who you want to love. And I want personally to be able to have freedoms and have my kids have freedoms. And if I want that, then we've got to make sure that others do, even if I don't agree with some of the things.
Mr. Mayor, do you plan to campaign with Andrew Cuomo?
Andrew hasn't asked me, and I don't think he needs it. I'd be happy to appear with him any place. As you know, I did appear with him and endorsed him. I think he would be a very good governor of this state. I look forward to working with him, assuming he is elected. He's going to face some very tough times. We all know the state's fiscal problems. We all know about the state's so far inability to get its costs under control and its house in order when it comes to a lot of the public health things that I care about. But I think Andrew Cuomo is the right guy at this time to lead this state, and I'm happy to stand with him anytime he wants if he asks me. If I were him, I don't think he needs endorsements. I think Andrew's just going to get out there and tell people what he would do if they elect him. And if he does that, and if they listen, I'm confident Andrew Cuomo will take over on January 1st as the next governor of the state. And I just wanted to congratulate Maria and being the Grand Marshal for this parade. A proud Italian. There's no argument about that. Yes, last question.
As of October 1st, New York City is in violation of the MOVE Act in getting absentee ballots out to people overseas and military members. still about 50,000 people in New York City. Can you?
Look, I don't know whether or not the Board of Elections has failed to send out absentee ballots to the military or anybody else, but if they have failed, it really is reprehensible. We send our young men and women overseas to fight and to die for us, and we don't care enough to make sure they get the right to exercise their franchise. That's what they're over there fighting for as much as anything else. It would not surprise me if the Board of Elections screwed up in this. They certainly did not do a good job the last time. I'll do anything I can to help them, but they've been given more than adequate monies to make sure that everybody in this city and in this state can vote privately, can vote for whomever they want, can vote at times that are convenient and accessible to them in places around the state. They've not done a good enough job yet, and rather than criticize them, maybe it's time we just tried to help them. The trouble is they don't seem to be willing to take help from other people. As you know, New York City offered to take over a lot of their voter questions with 311. There are a number of other things that we could do to help them. They don't seem to want to help, so maybe you should address the next question. It's a great day for New York and for the Italian